Imagine that those content you think you are creating, stripping yourself naked, using some uncut languages, using some vulgar words, carrying out some useless pranks, and doing all sorts of things in the name of creating content. You are a parent, you are a mother. Sometimes you expose your underpants. You say some very uncut words in the name of content. And in calculation, you think this is not possible going out to your children. Because when you are rendering those things, you are recording those videos, you record them when they are not there. You record those videos, perhaps maybe your children are in bed, sleeping. You record them, maybe they are in school. And you create an account, you don't even talk to them about the account you've created. By your calculation, you think you are smart. That is going to be far away from them. And if you upload the videos now, you might repent tomorrow. And then after doing all of those things, you go back to them, you preach morals to them. You try to impart values. You don't want your child to go wrongly. You don't want your child to be a spoiled child. And you do all of that by your calculation. After all, what are you talking about? You're making money. You think you are smart. I have another thing for you. And that is the fact that that thing you are hiding, those immoral things you are uploading, those words that are inappropriate for other children that you are uploading, those content you think you are doing or you are creating, they are open before your children. Now, you must understand something, that the development of a child, if you have listened to my previous video, I was talking about the last time that the life of a child is like a plain paper where everyone leaves a mark. You are the one that will have more writings in their lives because they are from you, because they see you every day, because they live by the example you give to them. For instance, you preach about morality to your children, and here you are on the internet. You are churning out immoral content. You are stripping yourself naked. Sometimes you deliberately expose your underpants for other people to see because you think that is exactly what will attract people to watch your video so that you can make your money. In your own calculation, by your mind, you're thinking that now this video were released before they grow to the point of understanding this, they would have grown. They may not even know that I'm the one. After all, they're not even aware that I'm the owner of the page. I have another thing for you. What you are hiding, before your video goes viral, those videos you're talking about that somebody else is going to watch and then they're going to give you views and all of that. Those views you are having, I can assure you that because your children are exposed, those views are already counting your children's view among them. You'll be surprised that at some point, you will be surprised when your child will walk up to you and say, "Mommy, a colleague just gave me, a friend rather, a pair just gave me this video. Shane, is it not your mom?" And that will shock you. And from that very moment, apart from the fact that you have given that child a different way of approach to life, you have damaged that child. That child will go with shame because their parent will say, "No, you'll be talking about morality all along. When we talk about this, you don't want to go with us. Look at your mom here on the internet saying all of this. That is the right way of life." And the child will say, "Oh, if my mom is teaching everybody this, is exposing herself, why then will I say this is wrong?" Because these are children. They do not understand what it means. The only thing they understand is the life and example that is brought before them. As a man, you create content telling lies and doing some very funny things, touch people, just do some very immoral thing that has nothing to do with the value you are trying to impart in your children. And you expect that this thing will not come back. That is one of the reasons why we are having problems today. Let me give you an instance. Today you will agree with me that many children who are still children, even in their teenage age, because they are children, are now taking up the responsibility of feeding their families. How are they doing this? Some of them, most of them, are not even educated enough to be able to take a decent job. What you have them do these days is that they go on the street, they do what they call hookup, or what do you call it now? They give it some very beautiful names just to take it away from prostitution. But in reality, what they are doing is because they have been put under tremendous pressure by the society. Because this is what I have done for my mother. This is what I have done for my father. I have built for them. I'm living and I'm driving the car that someone as old as my dad cannot even drive. That is the kind of pressure that coming on these children. And they want to do as much as their colleagues are doing it. Social media has become an environment where people are being put under constant pressure. Why are you adding to your children? Why are you adding to the children of other people? The training of a child is a collective responsibility of everybody. Because when the child becomes a well-trained child and they grow up tomorrow, they become the fulcrum of the society. They now decide the kind of policy we're enjoying tomorrow. Now decide what happened, how. In fact, everything has to do with your life tomorrow is decided by those children. Because when their own time comes, they'll be the decider. You can imagine our fathers during their own time, when they were like us. If they had played with us, some of us would not be as useful as we are to the society today. If you allow your child to go the same way because you are trying to create content and then you mess their life up, you pass across the wrong value system to them, what you are doing, you are damaging them. I'll give you an instance. There was this particular young girl. I used to like the girl, not for anything. Very young girl, very young, just like somebody I can give birth to. Because she had this disposition of quietness. She's very quiet. She looks very respectful and all of that. Then one day, I got to know that she had started messing around. How did I get to know that? I was coming to the compound, and then I saw a picture pasted at the entrance of the compound. And I got to know that that picture was pasted by her, and that picture was inappropriate, even for an adult. So I called her and I said, whoa, you have now gone this way. What happened? Why did you lose this value? I used to respect you. I used to like you. I used to hope that tomorrow you are going to be like an example to every other, because the way you are going to succeed in life. And I said so many things to her. She broke down and said, sir, I want to come and see you. And I said, if you had the time, you come in, let's talk. You won't believe what she told me. She got into my room, my apartment, and I said, sit down. She sat down. Everybody liked this girl. And I said, how come? You pasted that thing there? He said, yes, sir. And I'm very sure for pasting that kind of picture, it means something has gone wrong with you. Where do you leave this thing? How did you come about all of this? You lost this value. How come? She now told me that. The reality is this. She's very sorry. She didn't know anybody to speak with. Right now, as it is, it's difficult for her now. And I said, tell me what exactly happened. At what point did you get to begin to look this way, this direction? She simply told me that the dad, whom I know very well, a retired military officer, had 2 wives, which I know all of them. I know the family. They live in the same place with me. Now, the man was living in room and parlor, just 2 rooms. And he got 2 wives and many children. This man will go out there, get himself drunk, and by the time the man returns to the house, he wants to sleep with the mom, these children will still be awake. And this girl was already a teenager. She told me that each time the mom was sleeping with the mom, she was always listening. She knew what was happening. She knew everything. She was purely awake. And then her body, because she was already going through the puberty period, started reacting to it, and she started wanting man to do the same thing to her. And that was how she started looking for anybody who would want her. Unfortunately for her, she walked into a waiting hand of another person in the compound who almost had no future. And that was how the whole rotten things began. By the time she told me, she said more than what I saw that she pasted over there, she's gone deep into immorality with that young boy who cannot even feed himself, who was even being assisted by a brother, kept in the house. What am I saying? It is the kind of life we live when we are careless about it. You're making out with your husband, the children are there, you don't even care, you just casually push them off. You're making out with your husband or your wife, and then you allow the door to be open. You just do a lot of things, and these children, you think they are children, they're not children. You're damaging them. As I speak with you, the whole thing continued. She told me she became helpless to the point that she couldn't even help herself anymore. What could I do at that point? There is nothing I could do. I just prayed for her. Now it's time to go. The other person, I called the other person because I also know the person. The person also has some level of respect for me. And I told the person, he couldn't deny it. He said, yeah, this has been going on over several months. And nobody took note of it until I identified that. That is how it is. That is how damaging. The simple life of enjoyment or whatever you think, whether in the name of content creation, can damage your children. For instance, you're sitting carelessly, you're exposing your underpants, you're almost naked, using some uncut words on the internet in the name of creating content, and then that your child gets hold of your video, either today or tomorrow. All the effort you have put in training them, you've washed everything down by that singular act of carelessness. And then the money that you've been paid for releasing that content will not be there to save that child. What you have done, you damage yourself, you damage your reputation, you damage that child. And I think this is unforgivable. Because if that happened, you have no reason whatsoever to be pardoned. But you still have the time today. You can continue to create your content. That's not a problem. Opportunity is there for you. You have your freedom. But don't overstretch this freedom to the point of destroying yourself and your children. Because you have a very vital responsibility, which is parenting. Because whatever you do today will determine what the end of those children will be tomorrow. And I hope that you're learning, that you look inward and think about those children when releasing your content. Thank you very much. If you've listened to this content to this point, I want to appreciate you for always looking forward to my video. Share our video, comment if you have any issue you want to talk about and you want us to maybe give our tips around that. And then keep expecting, because there are more to come. We need to up our game when it comes to parenting. That is all that matters to us, nothing more. We don't care about what else can happen, but once we give the proper parenting to our children, we can be sure of what the society holds for us tomorrow. Thank you very much. See you in our next video. Bye-bye.